Welcome everybody to Tino's Time Wrestling. And on this episode, your boy Tino's going to give you a recap of everything that went down last night at Money in the Bank. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of a Raw preview. And then I'm going to give you some bold predictions of things that I think that are going to happen before next time that we talk, which will be, it's the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. But first, before we get to SummerSlam, let's talk about all the action that went down last night at Money in the Bank. And you know, what a pay-per-view. There were some good, there were some bad, there were some interesting. We even had a glitch. We even had lagging. We almost didn't see the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That would have been awful. But the first match that happened on the card, it happened on the pre-show. It was the Mysterio family versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And this was only the second time Dominic Mysterio competed in front of fans, and he put on a complete show. Him and Mysterio, they beat the crap out of the Usos. The Usos beat the crap out of them. They put on some phenomenal spots. Dominic flying through the ropes. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso doing their thing and just doing everything. It was crazy. I thought, though, that Jey had Rey Mysterio after hitting the super kick. I thought he had him. This match at one point was going back and forth. I didn't know who was going to win. I took the Mysterio family to win the match, but you know, it did not happen. In the end, Rey Mysterio hit a 619. Jimmy took one for the team. He took one. He saved Jey Uso. And then that's when Jey Uso did the super kick. And I thought he was going to have him. But then, after a little bit more fighting, Jimmy rolled up Mysterio. And then it seemed like Jey, he kicked the back of Jey or Jimmy, whoever was pinning who. They kicked the back and gave himself a little bit more support, and they rolled up the Mysterio family, and they took the 1, 2, 3 for the win. And your brand new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, Jimmy and Jey, they're now 7-time Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to the Uso Penitentiary. That just means the Bloodline has every title on SmackDown now. They own Fox. They own SmackDown on Fox. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Going into SummerSlam, we'll have to see. But that's not going to be good for the SmackDown roster that the Bloodline owns. Pretty much every single title except the Intercontinental title on SmackDown. But now, let's go into the main card, and let's talk about the first match on the card. It was the Women's Money in the Bank match. And guys, you know, I was really disappointed in this match. You know, they started off a little strong. We had all the girls going after each other. They were doing their thing. They were just beating the hell out of each other, and that's what Money in the Bank is supposed to be. But then it got really weird where at one point Zelina Vega got hypnotized by Alexa Bliss. Liv Morgan looked like she ran around the ladder for a minute, not knowing where to put the ladder. It just seemed like there was a lot of miscommunication, or maybe there was just something that they didn't know what was going on. And you know, just in my opinion, it's not what I thought it was gonna be. Naomi's double power bomb to Vega and Morgan, that was pretty dope. Naomi has been traded to SmackDown. If you did not hear about that, Naomi is now on the SmackDown brand. Even though we have a draft in a month, I don't know why they're doing trades. But anyway, you know, that was one really good spot in the match. Nikki climbs the ladder before we get to Nikki climbing the ladder, they brought 3 ladders into the ring in the end of the match. And everybody was fighting. The 7 competitors, 2 were on one ladder, 3 was on the other, and 1 was on the other. And they were all competing. They were all fighting. And you know how they try to climb, and they all pretend to grab for the briefcase and do whatever. But then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. And Nikki Cross climbed up the ladder and grabbed the briefcase, and nobody did anything. And that was how the match ended. And I didn't understand. It was kind of a weird ending. Like, I just didn't understand why nobody really supposedly saw Nikki Cross come out of nowhere, and then she just randomly grabbed it that easily. I didn't understand what happened. But let's see what happens, because Nikki Cross is now Mrs. Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, Nikki Cross, A-S-H, Ash. I think that Nikki Cross Ash. I think that's what they're calling her nowadays. The superhero looking like the Hurricane, whatever. And, I wasn't mad that Nikki Cross won. I was just mad the way the match went. The Money in the Bank match should be a little bit longer, in my opinion. I think it should have been. I don't even think this match lasted like 15 minutes. Maybe it did, but yeah. But it just, I would have loved to see Nikki Cross win those Money in the Bank as her character when she was Insanity. When she was Insanity, she was crazy, she was evil, she was all dark, and she was the mystic, kind of like Nikki, or kind of like Alexa Bliss is right now, but not with all like the weird Fiend and not with like Lily. But, that character of Nikki Cross would have been phenomenal to win the Money in the Bank. We'll have to see what happens with the superhero Nikki Cross as Mrs. Money in the Bank. But if they do it right, I wouldn't mind seeing Nikki Cross down the road. I kind of hope she does keep it for a little bit, because you do know in the past that the women haven't kept it very long. Carmella cashed it in after a few months. Alexa didn't even wait one night. She waited like 2 hours in Chicago that night, so we'll have to see what happens. But I just was really disappointed in this match, to be honest. And I was really looking forward, and like I said in my pre-show, I thought Liv Morgan should have won. She deserves it, but I don't write WWE, and what are we gonna do? We ain't gonna change nothing, because Vince ain't gonna listen to us. So let's see what Nikki Cross can do with Mrs. Money in the Bank. Now, this is the match that at one point was my favorite match on the card before the men's Money in the Bank match. It was the tag team match for the Raw tag team titles. It was AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders for the Raw tag team titles. And this match was really, really good. It was a really good match. Omos actually looked like he's been training a little bit, and he did what he did for being a big man, and that's what big men are supposed to do, is attack and do their thing and everything, which is fine. So yeah, but this match went back and forth. At one point I thought Eric was gonna have it. I thought Eric and Ibar. I thought Ibar. I'm gonna call him Akbar. I thought they were gonna have it, but this match was just so awesome, and it just was like, at one point, like I said, it was my favorite match on the card, because a couple of the matches were also disappointing, and I really didn't like the outcome, but we'll get to that later. In the end of the match, though, Omos lifted Eric up like the Great Khali used to by the head, and he power bombed him. He picked him up by the head, and he lifted him up, and then he put him down, and he actually ended up pinning him 1, 2, 3 instead of stomping on him, because earlier in the match he tried to stomp on Eric and Ibar, but both of them kicked out, and he had to actually get on. He had to actually lay down. Omos, you can't just stomp people for pins. Come on. So, like I said, if you have not seen Money in the Bank yet, go and watch this match, because this was a really, really good tag team match, and I really enjoyed it. So, we'll see what happens with the Raw tag team titles going into SummerSlam. I personally would maybe like to see, maybe a rematch, but let's add a stipulation maybe. Maybe we see guys come up. Maybe we see Thatcher and Ciampa come up from NXT and challenge him. That would be really sick. I just want to see it. That would be really cool. That's just something that I would really like to see. But let's not talk about the tag team match for too long, because there are still more matches that we have to get to on the card. So the next match that happened after the tag team match, it was for the WWE Championship. It was Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston was trying to go for Kofi Mania 2. But that's not what happened. This match was Kofi Kingston, to be honest, he didn't really have much offense. It didn't really look like he was going to get too much going. I didn't really understand what was going on, but Bobby Lashley dominated the whole entire match. He threw Kofi around like Brock Lesnar did, and like Brock Lesnar did to so many of his opponents. Bobby Lashley, he just dominated, like I said, this whole entire match. In the end, though, because like I said, there wasn't too much going on in this match except Bobby throwing Kofi around. He was just throwing him around like he was a rag doll. In the end, though, Lashley had 2 dominators, and then he choked him out with the Hurt Lock, and Kofi tapped, and still, your WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley. And, you know, this match, I thought they would give Kofi a little bit more offense. I wanted to see Kofi put up a little bit more of a fight. But if you haven't heard the rumors, the reason why they did this was because Lashley will be facing Goldberg at SummerSlam. So they probably just wanted Bobby Lashley to go in to facing Goldberg so dominant, and then, you know, he could live up, and hopefully Lashley wins, because if I have to see Goldberg as the WWE Championship again, and 2021, it's not 1990 no more, people, it's 2021. If I have to see Goldberg as WWE Championship again, I might not just turn on Raw. I mean, there's not much to turn on Raw as it is. I mean, we'll talk about it in a little later, but there's one that soon to be in a few years Hall of Famer, 16-time champion. That's a little bit of a preview. He came back at the end of the night, which is going to be awesome, and my reaction was awesome. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about, though, the next match on the card. It was Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. And, you know, this match was one I was hoping Rhea was gonna. I didn't know who was gonna win this match. It was so back and forth. The power on Rhea Ripley is phenomenal. The way that she does her moves and the way that she does her, just everything is ridiculous. I don't know how somebody that young can have so much power. She must be in that gym 16 hours a day. It's just crazy. Flair, she did her famous moonsault that she does in every match that she does, off the top rope, onto Rhea Ripley, and then she hit the natural selection, and, you know, this match was back and forth, and, you know, at one point, I thought Rhea was gonna win. I didn't think that there was no chance Rhea was gonna lose. But what should I know, right? Because every time I think I know something about WWE, the opposite happens. And every time I think I know it's just crazy. In the end, Rhea Ripley tapped out to the figure 8, and it was not okay, people. Why is Charlotte Flair champion again? I understand she's the queen, she's the WWE, she owns the women's division, she was the reason that she says that she was the reason for the women's revolution, but Rhea Ripley has only had the championship since WrestleMania, after beating Asuka, and I just felt like it was a little too soon to take away the championship away from Rhea Ripley, but we'll have to see. Hopefully we get a rematch at SummerSlam for the championship. We'll have to see. Maybe we see a triple threat match. There was a rumor last night that Becky Lynch was at Money in the Bank, but we did not see her. So maybe we see her come out tonight. Maybe we see her come out on Friday night. Who knows? But congratulations to the queen, Charlotte Flair, for winning another WWE title. That's the reason why you're the queen, and I'm sure you're going to be champion forever, and I'm sure Vince McMahon is just saying it's good shit up there. Yeah, it's good shit, everybody. Not good shit at all. But congratulations to the queen. Now, let's talk about, because those two matches, just after those two matches I talked about a little bit earlier, where I thought the tag team match was my favorite at one point. The Lashley and Kofi Kingston match and the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair match was just, I didn't like them very much. Like we talked about, Lashley dominated, and I just did not want to see Charlotte Flair win. And to be honest, when like a person I don't like wins, I just don't really enjoy the match. And, you know, there are some times that the matches are really good, and I won't lie, and, you know, I'm not like one of those people that is gonna like have a mental breakdown if like a person doesn't win anymore. I used to when I was a kid, but that was just because WWE was life. WWE is life, people. You know what's up. But, you know, I just did not. I thought Rhea Ripley should have had the title a little bit longer. Hopefully she gets it back, because she is the baddest bitch on the planet. So we'll have to see. But let's talk about the men's Money in the Bank match, because while the whole pay-per-view was going on, people, I didn't really know what was happening, but it kept like glitching like in and out. Like, you know, if you have DirecTV, if it rains a little bit, your TV goes out and it all flickers and whatever, and then all of a sudden the screen goes black. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, I just don't even understand. Like, I don't know. So I X'd out of Peacock. I went back in and I tried to do it and it didn't work. I even switched TVs. I tried to go to another TV. I was like, what is going on? And it was still doing it. I was like, am I losing it? Is my electronics malfunctioning? I just didn't know. At one point, I went on, I'm like, hey, Peacock, this is not okay. And it just, it's not okay. Like, why can't I watch Money in the Bank? And one of the matches I really wanted to watch was about to start. Like, come on. So I go on Twitter and it's everybody. Like, what happened, Peacock? Like, it was not okay. You better fix that, because if that happens during SummerSlam, your boy Tino's going on a rant, and he's canceling his subscription, and he's canceling his friend's subscription, where nobody's going to be watching Peacock anymore. You better not have that issue during SummerSlam. Please don't. Anyway, we finally got it fixed. After the last entrance, right before they rang the bell, I exited out one more time, and I went back in, and it worked. Thank goodness, because I did not want to miss the men's Money in the Bank match, and even with Peacock, you can't fast forward, so if you don't fast forward, then you can't watch it, then you gotta wait, and it was not going to be a good night if I was not able to watch the last two matches on the card. But it was okay, because we were able to do it, and we were able to get it going before the bell rang. And once the bell rang, this match started off hot. Excuse me, people. Sorry. Ricochet was doing his thing. He was flying through the ropes. We saw Morrison and Seth Rollins team up at one point. We saw Seth Rollins put Kevin Owens through a ladder throughout the match. This match was everything that the Money in the Bank should have been, and it's what the women's Money in the Bank should have been, because like we talked about earlier, the women's Money in the Bank matches did not live up to my expectations, and I looked a lot on Twitter and stuff last night, and I didn't see anybody really enjoyed it, except maybe a few people, but we'll have to see. But this one was just phenomenal. This was awesome. And throughout the match, at one point, I thought Drew McIntyre was going to have it, but then Jinder Mahal comes out with his two goons, and they ended up taking out Drew McIntyre, and they dragged him out. If you don't remember, Drew McIntyre destroyed Jinder Mahal's bike. He was looking like the Undertaker out there. He destroyed his bike, so Jinder got a little bit of revenge, and I'm sure we're on our way to seeing a one-on-one match at SummerSlam, and hey, I'm all about it, and let's see a 3MB reunion. I heard somebody on Twitter, let's see that, and let's see Heath Slater come back as the special guest referee. That would be awesome. And to be honest, after Drew McIntyre did get taken out of the match, I was kind of happy, because the only two people I really didn't want to win the match was him and Seth Rollins, because nothing against my boy Seth frickin' Rollins, but I thought there was some other people that deserved it, and I picked Nakamura, I thought Riddle, I thought Big E. There were just other people that I thought that were gonna win. I thought there was just gonna be other people that were gonna win the match, and Ricochet flew through the air, like I said. Just everybody did their thing. John Morrison used his drip sticks. Miz got involved. It was just everything the men's Money in the Bank and what Money in the Bank should be about. Like I said, Kevin Owens went through a ladder. He got destroyed. And, in the end of the match, though, this was like I said, I did not want Seth Rollins to win. Seth Rollins, he took out Riddle, he took out other few of his opponents, and Seth Rollins was climbing, but then all of a sudden, here comes my boy Big E. He climbs up, he's fighting Seth. He does the big ending off the ladder onto Seth Rollins, and he takes out Seth. He kicks Seth out of the ring. Big E climbs the ladder, he grabs the briefcase, and now your new Mr. Money in the Bank is feel the power, the positivity. Big E Langston is Mr. Money in the Bank. Oh, I'm sorry, Big E, not Big E Langston. If you remember, when he first started, his name was Big E Langston. But anyway, congratulations, my man Big E. You deserve it. You put on a show. You've worked your butt off. You've been in the shadows of Dolph Ziggler when he was with AJ Lee. You were next to the New Day when Kofi won and Kofi did Kofi Mania things. You've always been there. You're a multiple time, 10+ time WWE Tag Team Champion with the New Day. You do your thing, and now you deserve to have your singles run, and I cannot wait to see where this goes, and hopefully down the road, we're calling Big E the WWE Champion. And hey, wouldn't it be cool to see him versus Lashley down the road if Lashley does keep the title? That would just be lit to see him versus Lashley for the WWE title. So hopefully we could see Big E cashing in and take the WWE, or hey, maybe he stays on SmackDown and he'll go after the Universal Champion. But speaking of the Universal Championship match, this was the match of the night. Roman Reigns versus Edge for the Universal title was everything that we wanted to see at WrestleMania. This singles match lived up to the hype, and it was every single thing that we wanted. Roman went through the barricade twice. Edge took him out once. He took him out twice. He was like, screw it, Roman. You're going through everything. I'm taking you out, and I want my Universal Championship. I need to have one more run, Edge says. And, these two just put on a phenomenal show. They beat the hell out of each other. And at one point, they took the ref out, and Edge had Roman pinned. He had Roman pinned. He had Roman tapped. He was choking Roman with the bottom of the chair, whatever the heck you call the pipe in his mouth, the black thing that he's been using, everything. This match was just awesome. This match was everything I wanted to see. At one point, though, after I really think Edge had him, Edge was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there was no referee. I don't know. I don't know what it is with these referees, people, but why are they so slow to get out to the ring? Why? It should not take these referees 25 minutes to get back out to the ring after one of the referees gets knocked out. If one of the referees gets knocked out, then a referee should be back on his way right away, because if he was, Edge would be Universal Championship right now. But that did not happen, because the Usos ended up coming out while the referee was out. The Mysterio family did stop that, though. Seth Rollins ended up coming out while the referee was out, like while he was knocked out, because like I said, it took 25 minutes for a new referee to come. It felt like 25 minutes for a new referee to come out. Seth Rollins, he broke up the count at one point because Edge was trying to choke Roman's teeth out to the, I don't know what the heck Edge is trying to do with that pipe, but hey, I mean, it works, whatever. But Seth Rollins, he beat him up and he costed him and he took him out, but Edge beat up Seth Rollins to the point where we thought Seth was going to be out of the ring. I thought Seth was done. I thought we weren't going to see Seth no more. But after the referee finally came to the ring, after just taking his time, sitting and catering, doing his thing, whatever the hell the referee was doing, he finally comes out and Edge has Roman again, and Edge just is so close, but here comes Seth Rollins. He comes out and he distracts Edge, and Roman hits the spear, and that costs Edge, and, it just was not. That's Edge took the spear from Roman. Roman pinned Edge for the 1, 2, 3, and Roman is still a Universal Champion. And hey, I didn't expect Edge to win this match, and I did predict on my pre-show that Seth Rollins was probably going to get involved, because as we've been talking about a lot lately, and as I've talked about on Instagram and Twitter and everything, we're probably getting Edge versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. So hey, I'm all about it, because after the match, Seth Rollins and Edge started beating the crap out of each other, and they went to the backstage and they just kept beating the hell out of each other. So I'm pretty sure you could pencil that match in for SummerSlam, and hey, I'm all about it, because that's a dream match I've been wanting to see since 2014, when Seth Rollins was the architect and he had Edge's head on the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he thought he was cool to beat up on a guy that was retired, and we thought he would never wrestle again. Well, guess what, Seth Rollins? Your nightmare's back, and he's coming for you at SummerSlam. See ya in August. But after the money, after Roman won the Universal title, after Edge and Seth Rollins beat the crap out of each other and went back, I was wondering, I'm like, why is it taking so long? Because WWE is on a time schedule and they try to go. Like, why isn't this ending? Like, what is going on? And Roman goes, everybody can acknowledge me as the tribal chief. And I thought maybe it was going to end. But no. We got the return of the 16-time WWE Champion, Hall of Famer, soon to be, hopefully not too soon, John Cena returns to the WWE for the first time since he faced Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse. And he comes out and you see Roman's face, and that pop that John Cena got was phenomenal. If you haven't, go look on Instagram, Twitter. It's all over everybody's Twitters and Instagram pages. This pop was amazing, and my boy Thugonomics Word Life is back. He comes to the ring. He looks at Roman. He does, "You can see me," and he does. And he goes up to the top ropes and he does his, the usual. And then finally, the pay-per-view ends. We'll have to see what happens, because John Cena isn't wasting no time, and we're going to see that man to start off, and he's kicking off Monday Night Raw live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on the USA Network. So after one hell of a Money in the Bank, like I said, there was some good, there was some bad, we saw some lagging, there were some interesting things. We saw the return of John Cena, but now that we got Money in the Bank behind us, we have two new Money in the Bank. We got Mr. Money in the Bank, Big E. We got Nikki Cross, Mrs. Money in the Bank. We got new champions, the Usos, Charlotte Flair. We have so many things. We're probably seeing Roman and Cena at SummerSlam, and probably Edge and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, which, hey, I'm all about. And those are two dream matches I've been wanting to look forward to for so long. But let's talk about what is going to go on tonight on Monday Night Raw. Like I just said, John Cena is kicking us off. What is he going to say? Obviously, I think that they're just doing this because they want the ratings for Raw, because Raw has been obviously horrible. And after that pop last night that John Cena got, I thought that they would obviously save him for Friday. But hey, I would see, that's fine with me to see him on Monday too. Whatever works. So John Cena's kicking us off, and I think that he's going to just talk about and welcome the fans back and say, you know, he's going to be here for a while, and hopefully he is here for at least until after WrestleMania next year. I would really like to see him compete at Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble again. You know, he's a two-time Royal Rumble champion. Maybe he can get a third time and tie Stone Cold Steve Austin. We'll have to see. But let's see what Cena's got to say on Monday Night Raw. But obviously, we're seeing John Cena versus Roman Reigns. And there was a report that Cena isn't really on any brand. He's just probably going to go back and forth. And hey, that works because the man's got to make up some time. We haven't seen him in a year and a half. So hey, welcome back to the WWE, John Cena. It's good to have you back. But what's next for the new women's champion, Charlotte Flair? Congratulations, Charlotte Flair. New champion again. You're the Raw Women's Champion. Yay. Life is normal. People, life feels normal again. Charlotte Flair is back as WWE Raw Champion or SmackDown Champion, whichever brand she's on. So, like I said earlier when we talked about the match, hopefully we see a rematch with her and Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, or we see it on Raw in a couple weeks. We'll have to see, but that's personally what I would like to see, and I just want to see Rhea get her title back, and maybe this was just a way to get ratings. I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't predict what Vince McMahon is going to do anymore, because I can't. I don't know. Who knows anymore? He changes his mind. Crap. He might be changing Raw as we speak. What's next for Bobby Lashley? We've obviously heard reports from that is Goldberg is coming back, Oldberg is coming back, and you know, if that's true, I guess I'll give it a shot, but I'm not really looking forward to that match because I think that there's way other people that deserve better opportunities and have been working their asses off for a long time and this whole year and have been here for the pandemic and everything, and I think that they deserve a WWE Championship match before Goldberg does. Goldberg hasn't done anything, and just because he's a Hall of Famer and because he had an undefeated streak in 1990 for however long, like Goldberg I just don't get it. So we'll have to see what's next for Lashley, and hopefully we don't hear that music tonight, but we'll have to see. Also, the other two things I want to talk about before we go is what's next for RK Bro. We haven't seen Randy Orton in a little bit. Are we going to see them break up and maybe see a singles match at WrestleMania? Or not WrestleMania. Woo! Are we going to see a singles match at SummerSlam? What are we going to do? Are they going to stay? Maybe they go after the Raw Tag Team Champions now and they get the title opportunity at SummerSlam. And hey, that would work for me because I think Riddle and RKO, Randy Orton would be great Raw Tag Team Champions. Also, where's Sheamus? We didn't see Sheamus on the card. He competed last week on Monday Night Raw. He was finally able and cleared to compete after breaking his face and his nose, when I've seen other people face, like Cody Rhodes fought with a face mask on for a little bit. So, you know, I just didn't understand. But anyway, what is Sheamus doing? Is he ever going to defend the title again? Are we going to see the United States Champion defended? I don't know. I just wanted to mention that because we didn't really see him defended or do anything last night, and you know, I just did not understand. So we'll have to see what happens tonight on Raw. Hopefully Raw is a good show, because now that the now that the WWE Universe is back, we deserve to have better matches and have better programming and have better weekly programming, because if we'll tell you, we're gonna tell you, Vince McMahon, if we don't like it. You can't hide from the Thunderdome and your pan claps and everything like that. So we're gonna let you know. Also, where's Becky Lynch? Becky Lynch better come back, because also, before I do go, did anybody see Charlotte Flair flip off the WWE Universe after they say, "We want Becky, we want Becky"? I mean, we want Becky. Where's Becky? And I mean, Charlotte Flair's just a big baby, so I mean, go ahead and flip it off and do whatever the heck you got to do. But we're still not going to change. And hey, like I said, that match was awesome, and the outcome wasn't what I expected, but I mean, it was a good match. So hey, whatever. So hopefully we see, but maybe Becky will return tonight too, so that's something else to keep an eye on. But after one hell of a pay-per-view that was Money in the Bank, after hopefully that is a good Raw, what's going to be next for what's going to be going on at SummerSlam? SummerSlam, remember, it's a Saturday, so that's cool because we've never had SummerSlam on a Saturday before. As a kid, that would have been awesome when I was little, because it was always on Sunday and it was always the day before we started school, and that always sucked. So, what's going on for SummerSlam? Like I said, you can definitely pencil in John Cena versus Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins versus Edge, probably Lashley versus Goldberg. But let's see the triple threat match maybe with Becky and Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Let's see a fatal 4-way or something. Let's see. Maybe we see the women's tag titles defended on the show. Maybe Tamina and Natalya will finally defend their titles on a pay-per-view and not be in the Money in the Bank match. That was something else that I didn't really want to get into in the women's Money in the Bank match, but that didn't make any sense to me. So before I go, I just wanted to mention those things, and I hope everybody enjoyed Money in the Bank. I hope everybody does enjoy Raw tonight. I can't wait until the biggest party of the summer. Remember to go and follow at TinoTime1996. Go subscribe. Go hit that follow button. Go like my podcast. Go like Twitter, Instagram, Tino's Time Wrestling, Tino's Time 10. It's Tino time, everybody, and there ain't no stopping. So, until the biggest party of the summer in August, this is your boy Tino, signing out.